Okay, this is going to be super quick. I have to remake one of my really old animations for a client, so I wanted to show you guys when I'm just trying to go as fast as I can and show you guys my workflow when it comes to just really quickly doing something that I've done before, but I just want to show you guys like my real workflow, I guess. So, so basically, it has a flat portion. Did I do it like this? And let's do 18 degrees. Rotation. Almost. Let's see. Let's go to the top. So, looks like 15 degrees is the winner. Okay, now let's go back. Get those loop cuts in there so we can displace it. Now let's kill these faces. Did I add a loop cut right there? I did. Okay. There, X faces. Okay. Now let's add a subdivision surface. Subdivision surface. See how it smooths it out? If you go back to simple, it maintains that look, which is what we want. Now let's get a displace. First off, let's apply scale. New. Let's go over here to distorted noise and get the blocks, which is called cell noise. And then let's go back and 0.3 on the strength, I'm thinking. Cool. 0.1, 0.1, 4. And then let's go back and change the size of this. It's around what we're looking for. Okay, cool. That looks pretty close. I'm not going to be able to get exact because I don't remember exactly what I did back a year ago. But this is pretty close, so I hope the client is happy with it. 0.06. Okay, cool. Now let's quickly go to shading because that's really the big part of this render. So let's go over here to look dev. And let's see, we're going to be using Eevee, kill the bloom for now. We're going to be using a mix, shader, and an emission. Bring it down here. Let's make this metallic, and looks like it was pretty dark. What's going on? Oh, it's mixing. Okay, I was a little bit confused there. Now, let's get color ramp. Noise and geometry, I believe. Geometry, and then we'll need a mapping as well. I should be using 2.79 for this, actually. I just downloaded it and I should be using it, but I believe it's normal that I use for this to really sort of mess with it. And then crunch the color ramp. Yeah, that looks like it's correct. Let's do constant. And bring it in. Yeah, and then if we mess with the scale, it goes super crazy. Let's go back to bloom. So if you mess with the scale, it gives you this really crazy cool strobing look, which is why I think it's pretty cool. So we're going to be playing with that. Detail doesn't really matter. All this is just playing with the look. Okay, now I added 2 lights to it, 2 colors. On the color ramp here, plug that to the color. And it was a green and a blue. A greenish and a bluish. So we're going to get this sort of green area, and then over here on this white one, we're going to get this blue, very blue. And then plug this noise texture into that, and we should get some pretty cool stuff once we crunch these 2 colors on constant. There we go. So now you'll see a mix of the 2. And let's go back to this color ramp and make everything smaller, more subtle. And then if we play with it, we get a really cool strobe. Okay, now I added some lights into the scene to make it look a little bit better. We're going to instance this, but first we need to make it loopable. So plane axis. And so what we're going to do is we're going to add in a mirror to make that. So we're going to use that empty as the mirror object. So now it's seamless. So what I did was I duplicated it and sort of flipped it around. So now it's seamless when I put an array modifier on it. So let's get our camera. I mean, this also makes the animation longer. You don't have to do that, but kind of a perfectionist when it comes to that part. So I want it to be like that. And then on our camera, make it wider. Okay, so now let's add our lights. Point light. Bring him all the way to the end. And then let's zoom all the way in there. Bring it to the top. Bring up the strength. I think I kept him white. Let's bring another one here in the middle. And another one here. Hopefully that's illuminating it better. So point light right there. And they need to be brighter for sure, but it's fine. All right, now what we're going to do is we're just going to instance this now. Hide. We won't be using an array because I want to be able to edit those light strengths later. So, yep, that's how I title stuff. Bring it all the way to the end. Bring it all the way to the end. Duplicate both of those. Bring that to the end, and that should be good. Back to rendered view. And then we can take those point lights and play with their strength until I like the way they look. Cool. And then we'll change the color as well on them to match the way the rest of the scene looks. Now let's animate the camera. Okay, so let's get this camera here. Put it back on view, and it's going to go from 8 to 24. Let's give it 120 frames. Let's bring it up. Back onto the camera. Let's go to camera view so we can make sure it's actually seamless. So -8. Skip a frame. So 24. Yes, it's perfectly seamless. So if you go back, bam, seamless. And then that is way too fast. So let's do 120, 240, 240. Let's just double that. And this will probably be too slow. It's usually what happens. So let's see how this looks. Okay, that's perfect speed. And those lights are far too bright. Actually, let's just make the metallic shader darker. So let's bring up this timeline here. Timeline. Let's press play. Oh, we are not in camera view. Now we are. Okay, cool. So basically right here, there's an absence of some light. So let's bring him down. Right about there. And then all the lights, let's make them considerably darker. And now we're lagging. So let's make them all a strength of 50. No, let's give them 75. I think that's too much of a difference. And let's see how that looks. Okay, better. So we're getting this. Now let's animate those flickers. So back to shading. And of course we need to save this because it's already lagging. We'll call it lag. And save it. Okay, so flickers, that's done in just playing with that. Doesn't even really have a difference. So insert keyframe, go to the end, insert keyframe so that they loop, and then here, let's bring it up to like, oh, that's too much. Let's bring it up to 30. And then we'll insert the keyframe. So now they both start and stop at 5, which makes it also a seamless loop. And now it's really lagging. Okay, cool. Just to make sure we're looping. And perfect. Okay, so this is basically a finished product let's go back and play with roughness, and then we're basically done with this animation. So the roughness is just going to make it feel brighter. And then let's go to color space and give it more contrast. So where's color space? Color management. And then high to very high contrast. So that's just a subtle difference, but it goes a long way. And then we'll stop there. And there you go. I'm just going to render that, and that's going to be the finished product. So yeah, that's my workflow when I'm trying to go really fast and do something really quick and iterate and make stuff for clients. And yeah, there you go. Thanks for watching.